That might be my favorite part of the whole painting process, right there. There. I always feel like it's too bad that's not my technique. I could be done. Painting in 10 seconds. And hey gang, sorry I didn't get my clapper ready. 732, I think. Plein Air Beaufort. That's Beaufort. Beaufort, North Carolina. And today's date is, what's today's date, David? 13? I think it's 13?
Yeah, I think that's right.
All right, thanks gang. Sorry for wasting your time. Daily Art Adventure number. I just wrote it. I can't remember for 10 seconds. 732. And somebody's saying hi there. Karen, hello. Hello, Uncle. Hey, man. Just in time. Good to have you. So, first of all, first things first. First things first. I'm out here painting with my good friends, David Foster. David, you have to wave. And Richard, who's standing there schmoozing with the locals. That's David with his back to us. So the three of us are painting in Beaufort. Mike Rooney is somewhere else at the moment. And Rusty will be joining us tomorrow. So great times. Finally, good to be out here. Been looking forward to this week for months. 5, maybe even 6 of us eventually will be painting. 4 of us are staying in a rental house. And a couple other people I think are going to join us. All right, there's enough abstract, don't you think? Let's go right ahead and do some white stuff. Technical terminology here. I hope it's not too much for you. I call it white stuff, otherwise known as white paint. Slapping it on kind of thick here. I have discovered that even if all of these colors, which I'm still working at trying to figure out how to not cover them up so much, but anyway, even if all the colors get covered up in the subsequent layers of doing the painting, this white stuff, because it's a thicker viscosity, because it's thicker paint, it remains visible, at least as texture, all the way to the very, very end of the painting process. So that's why I'm a pretty big fan of doing that white layer. You know, it's the least impressive right now, but it becomes the most visible in later stages. All right, phase 1 is finished. That didn't take long, did it? All right, I haven't shown you what I'm painting yet. Here, turn you around and try to get it in focus here. Whoops. You're not standing on level ground, so sorry, it's going to be a little bit. So that right there is approximately what I'm going to paint. Now, just a word about that. When we got here 30 minutes ago, the sun was out, and it looked marvelous, darling. It looked really good with the sun out. But the sun has since decided to go behind a bunch of clouds. And so I do have a picture, I do have a photograph that I can use right at the moment. It doesn't matter too much. All right, now let me get in the zone here. Boats are nice, water's nice, grass, sky, that's nice. But you understand, none of that doth a painting make. I have to get into old English for some reason, sometimes. I really want to make a point. Oh, look at all you guys saying hi. Banger 3355 TW. Artist image. Exactly. Yeah, well. Do I ever? Hey, Michael. Yes, in fact, I have way too many breaks from painting. People often say to me, "Do you know, I'm a full-time artist. Do you paint every day?" And I kind of groan either inwardly or outwardly and say, "Oh, I wish that I did. I wish I could paint every day. I don't. There's way too many." All right, gang, hang on. This is one of those moments when a T-square would be a good idea for that.
Oh yeah.
For that water. I don't have a T-square, so.
Would a divider help you?
No, I do have a ruler. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You know what? That'd be faster than a ruler.
Yeah, because you can.
Thank
you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, guys.
All right.
Here you go. We're gonna make you famous.
Oh, good.
You're gonna be famous all over again.
Thank you.
You're gonna be famous all over. You're gonna be famouser.
Famouser, that's good.
There's nothing better than being.
Nothing better than being famouser.
There it is. There it is. That's okay.
I have a brother and sister-in-law in Plymouth.
Okay. Oh, I got you. I got all of you.
Okay, so I'm borrowing.
Look as brilliant and creative and imaginative as you are. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we do it one more time.
I'm getting shot here. Where will we?
Saturday, you will be the headline picture in Ken Humphrey's blog spot, which everybody will see in the
Excellent.
video. Yeah.
Excellent.
Sweetwater Creek, Hard Times. It's the second largest online paper.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
But here's the deal.
What?
You guys are going to be headliners.
All right. We're going to be headliners. Oh, that's great. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
An email or text. Yeah, I've got your card.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you. And you can
Send it to me and I will forward it to everybody I know.
We'll see. I've got about a 5,000 Facebook mail list.
I love to paint too.
And I love
This
what
would
you're
Do you? Oh, good.
This was
Now, you got one of my cards, right?
Yeah. If I move down here, maybe I'll take.
That's right. Maybe that's right. You can start painting more. Thank you, Richard.
Sure thing. You can hold on to it for a while.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I won't need it anymore. Thank you. All right. So back to the subject at hand. I was saying boats are nice. You know, big old fishing boats are nice. Dock house, grit, water, sand, clouds. All that's nice, right? And then I lapsed into Old English for some reason, saying that none of that doth a good painting make. It might make a good bit of photojournalism. In this case, it would be painting journalism. Journalism. Anyway, so of course I'm zooming in here pretty tight. So answer me, class. I mean, what could be better? What could be better than big old rusty sailboats and no, I said that wrong. Fishing boats, not sailboats. Fishing boats and a bunch of hardware and masts, power lines. But all of that, as I said, doth not a good painting make, right? Because it's not a good painting unless what? Well, the broadest answer would be all the abstract elements: line, shape, color, design, value, texture. So when I said the word design, that in this case synonymous with composition, that kind of design. So I've already made, one major decision. The horizon's at about 1/3, right? And now that I've made it, I'm thinking, nah, I want to lower that down. It was a high third. Now I want to make it. There is so much. Let me show you again. I'll shoot you across the water here. We're doing quite a telephoto painting. I'm not sure that's a term, but, and I'm sorry it's crooked, but again, I'm looking at something like that. Maybe more like that. I'm actually going to zoom in even more than that. Bye, thanks for stopping by. All right, so there's a lot of junk over there. A lot of visual information. Ask me if it feels overwhelming. David, does it feel overwhelming?
Feels overwhelming.
It does, it feels overwhelming. Wow, nice.
That's the plan.
Yeah. Oh, well, I should have
almost
brought my camera with me.
I'm too busy marketing, I can't get any painting done.
You guys are way ahead of me. I'll show you their paintings later.
Yeah, we're painting, you're building a house.
So yes, crazy, way too much stuff. I think I was saying the same thing yesterday when I was painting in Weaver Street Market in downtown Raleigh. Over the feeling of overwhelmedness. I'm not sure that's a word, but you know what I mean. Too much information. So, here's my approach to that problem. I'm not saying it's the best one or even a good one necessarily, but it is the way I operate quite a bit. So when in doubt, scribble. When in doubt, make a mess. When in doubt, just blob in. So this is also a good example of what I call blobbing in a painting. Oh, paints are drying fast today. There's a real nice breeze. It was 80, 81 degrees in the middle of the afternoon. It's now 5 o'clock here in Beaufort, so in October 13th, so the temperature's going down quickly. I'm glad that I have a jacket in my car over there, my van, my art studio on wheels. So maybe 3 of those big boats, maybe. I mean, and then again, this is sort of like painting trees. Don't even count the masts yet. Don't even count them yet. Just make a big mess. And I do like that there are also back there power lines. I do have a I've painted here in this town before. I've painted these boats, not these exact ones necessarily, but I've painted this kind of stuff. No, I don't. More precisely, I've painted this exact location before in boats. Sometimes up close, sometimes far away. So I do have a feeling, and that's really important. I have a feeling about this scene what I'm looking at, and it is true grit. It's these are over here, well, really all across here. These are big. I want to say big old. I don't mean that in the literal sense, but that they're old. But these are big old fishing boats, commercial fishing boats. And a couple hours ago, David and I actually drove, the David who's sitting over right 10 feet from me, we drove across the bridge, and I walked all over the place back in over there and took a bunch of pictures. And I've done that before too. So I'm just trying to say I'm pretty familiar with this subject matter. And when I'm walking, looking at these fishing boats up close, the feeling I get is like about as far away from the romance of the sea as just about as you can imagine. Every bit of it to me, these boats, every square inch of these big old honking steel, everything looks like it weighs at least 100 pounds up to 10 tons. I mean, it's everything sitting on the deck is heavy and clunky and rusty and painted 700 times to try to keep it from rusting. And it's just the whole thing. I am not kidding. It just feels to me when I look at it, it's like, hard work. Work for young men with, more brawn than brains. And that's not, I don't mean that to sound offensive at all. But just lots of muscles, just exhausting work. That's how it looks, and that's sort of what I would like to convey here. In a way, it's a homage to hardworking people, hardworking men in this case. So that's some of the feeling that I have about the subject matter, but of course, even that, as I've said, you're tired of me saying, that doth not a good painting make. Just because I have feelings about the subject, that doesn't make a good painting. It's a good thing to have those feelings, but it does. What makes a good feeling? Well, number one, lighting. And the sun is just about to come out here again, so believe me, if it does, I'm going to be snatching up my camera and snapping pictures as fast as I can. It would really be sweet if while we're out here in the next hour or so, right before the sun goes down, it would really be sweet if the sun were to pop out, warm, late evening sun. Now if that looks like just a complete mess to you, thank you, you're paying attention. It looks like a mess to me too. All right, I'm going to keep making messes. So again, this is a really good example, I think, of what I mean by when I say blobbing in a painting. David over there, of course, he's working on 8 by 10 inch canvas. He's doing really nice drawing. I'm kind of embarrassed. Here, I'm gonna show these guys. So here's why I'm embarrassed.
I'm embarrassed to be with you.
Richard says he's embarrassed.
That's a Dan Nelson if I ever
He's embarrassed to be seen with me.
People pull up and they go, oh, that's interesting.
That's right. That's right. That's exactly. People pull up and say, nice painting. They want to be nice, so they say nice painting.
That's gonna be, yeah, that guy's going to put an article about it in the newspaper, in Psychology News.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, they were duly unimpressed. Anyway, this is what I call blobbing in a painting.
Blobbing? Yeah, not blocking in, blobbing.
Blobbing in.
Yeah, so that's going to be your background.
Forestall decisions.
And all of a sudden the painting comes out of it, right?
Yeah.
I thought you were just trying to be Mike Rooney. Yeah, I'm Rooney.
Richard, do you have any artwork online?
I have a website,
Oh, what's your website?
tardelart.com.
Tardell Art. Okay, TardellArt.com. That's Richard's stuff. And David Foster, you can probably not the music producer.
DB Foster Art.
DB Foster Art. That's David's art website. David is a regular in our monthly painters forum. We've been getting together, I think, at least 12 years, David. So we have a good, fun relationship. Seeing each other's work every month for pretty much for 12 years. It's been great. It's really fun having artist friends, that of that longevity. I was going to say that old, but that wouldn't sound right. We've been able to watch each other grow and develop and evolve over the years quite a bit. It's fun. Anyway, so there you go. Richard Tardell Art. That's not the website. You can find it from there. And David Foster Art. DB Foster Art. When I met you 13 years ago, David Foster. Man, that name sounds familiar. He's really famous. He's like one of the best music producers in the world. Produced Celine Dion and Josh Groban and a whole bunch of other people. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I was about to say Botticelli, but he's not that old.
That's right. So, of course, what really will make this a painting, if it turns into a good painting, it will be mostly because of the light. I would think. I always say that the most important aspect of a painting is play of light. I'm going to try to quantify that. I've never said this, so it's the most important thing. Of course, it's not the only thing. There's a lot of other things that help it be a good painting. Of course, not the least of which is an accurate drawing. And accurate doesn't mean that I have to include every little piece of rusty hardware over there across the water. Of course not. Not that kind of accuracy, but ratios, anatomy, perspective, that kind of thing. It has to be correct. But again, you get no credit, so to speak, for getting that right. You just get anti-credit for getting it wrong. If I can make up crazy terminology. All right, so if play of light is the most important, yes, I have an answer to this. I was thinking, okay, what's second most important? And I do have a strong opinion on that subject. play of light, most important. Second most important element is composition. And that's where I talk often about, when you're talking about, and sometimes I use the word design. I mean, other people, and many people I would think use the word design. Design 101 is the law of thirds, so check, check. The next, I'm repeating now, second most important layer, then law of thirds is the simplest. What's the second simplest is either the major dark or light shape zone of your painting should be identifiable with one word. Third most simple is what I call Mikey's rule, and that's named after my friend Mike Rooney, who's painting with us here this week. Third rule is three-tone, light, medium, and dark. I'm repeating all this really fast because all you regulars have heard it so many times. But three layers of value, light, medium, and dark, and two of those three must be contiguous or touching. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about that right now. Then beyond that, it gets very esoteric, but one of my favorites is go to Edgar Payne. He's the father of the California School of Plein Air Painting in the 1950s and 60s, I believe. And he had the nerve, to say that all the great compositions in the world can be condensed down to 13. And you can Google that. That's all I'm going to leave. I've told you before, and it's on my page, on my community page somewhere. I've put my interpretation or paraphrasing of Edgar Payne's 13 design stems. Okay, so there you go. So number one, play of light. Number two, composition. Number three, what's the third most important? Now this is interesting, and I'm going to, if you're anybody thinking with me, I think a lot of people would say color. Now an art professor would say no, might say no, color gets the credit, but it's actually values that are doing the work. Well, see, I've already rolled the values subject into play of light. Okay, does that make sense? When I'm talking play of light, that's a subset, if you will, of the values category of design. Well, here's what I'm going to say. I've been saying it for a long time, and I still am inclined to stand by it, that the number four, so play of light, no, number three, I'm saying play of light is number one, composition is number two, texture is number three. In my book, it beats out color. That's all I'm going to say about that right now. And then after that, color. So if this is going to be a good painting, it's not going to be because it's got boats and buildings and stuff like that in it. If this is going to be a good painting, it's going to be because play of light, composition, and texture. And a distant fourth, well, is color. So that's my humble opinion, which also, by the way, explains a little bit about why this is such a ridiculous mess right now. That explains a little bit about why I blob in my paintings as opposed to block in. A cute saying. If you don't think it's cute, just keep it keep it to yourself. If you if you block in, you lock in. So if you start out drawing tight, then you're kind of stuck. And believe me, I've made that mistake an embarrassing number of times. Starting a painting too tight and just never, it's like steering an ocean liner, just never be able to get that ship turned back around. If I start tight, I stay tight. Man, can't tell you how many times I've made that mistake. So that's made me even a bigger fan of blobbing instead of blocking. All right, this is very thick paint, and fortunately there's a nice breeze. Well, hey Nancy, my wife is on. Do I ever paint food? Yes, I painted food. It's been a while. Well, I should say, as an illustrator, I illustrated food. Rebecca is commenting on bugs. And yes, part of my, I don't have any yet, but part of my standard equipment for plein air painting is bug spray. Guys, can I show people your paintings?
No.
Richard is saying no. I can't.
It's not at that point yet.
Okay. Well, you've got a lot more excuse. Okay, I won't show Richard's painting. I'll just show Richard.
Yeah,
There's
hi.
Richard. Oh, that's nice. Makes me feel like a slob.
Yeah, I'm looking at this tiny canvas.
There you go. Great fun. Thanks for doing this, guys.
He thinks it's pretty funny too.
Yeah, did you hear that bird? Hey, sweetie pie. That's my wife Nancy I'm talking to. Thanks for watching. I'm going to take a break here in just a minute because there's nothing I can do. I just have to let this paint dry. So let me see what I've missed here a little bit. Uncle 60. No, they are not live on their channels. Let's give them a hard time, shall we? It's supposed to rain here later. Is it raining in Raleigh, Carolyn? Or in the Triangle? I think that's where you are. Good. Somebody answered the question, the pencil question. Thank you. Okay, Richard, somebody's complaining that they tried to find your website and they couldn't. They said, okay, so what it is again? Tardell Art?
Tardell Art.
Dot,
T-A-R-D-E-L-N.
yeah, that, it should work. T-A-R,
Just have them just Google Tardell Art
yeah,
or Richard Tardell.
yeah, exactly. Tardell, let me see if you spelled it right. Art, Tardell Art. Oh, two L's, T-A-R-D-E-L-L, two L's. Yep, yep. Yes, Carolyn, I do, of course. Are you talking to me about underpainting with acrylics? I don't think you are. You know that already. All right, gang. I'm going to cover up my paints because they're drying really fast with this nice breeze. I'd rather have paints dry fast than slow, even if it messes up my pots. So I'm going to take a little break while this dries. Probably be back in 20 minutes. So sorry about that. I don't want to start another broadcast because people will get an alarm, you know. So forgive me. But I think it's going to take 15 minutes at least for that to dry. Okay, sorry. I'll be back in a bit. Sure is, isn't it? All right, so I turns out, how long was I gone? Yeah, half an hour, and it's still not dry. Are we broadcasting yet? I think we are. It's still not dry, so I'm doing something I never do. I'm painting color onto not dry white, which is usually strictly against rules, and after that first stroke I can clearly see why it's against my rules. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I'm out of medium. There might be more in the car. So this is a real experiment. I might discover something new here. Or I might discover that my normal method of operation is correct. Because what is happening is that this wet color is picking up that wet. I was hoping I could drag a brush across it without picking it up. But clearly that is not happening. So I just covered that entire painting with a lot of really interesting translucent pastel stuff. So as I said, I might discover I like it. At the moment I don't, but we'll give it a few minutes. Plus I can't undo it. So while I'm waiting, while it's dripping wet though, get out another toy. These are, oh, they're not going to work at all. Darn. Okay, forget that. Those are watercolor crayons. Try to let that sink in. Watercolor crayons. Let's try. Oh, that works well. This is water-soluble pastels. And the marks I'm making right now, of course, are purely. This looks terrible. What a funny joke. And I just put that away. I realized when that wet acrylic paint dries, it's going to be hard as a rock. So I'm going to wipe that off. I'm just full of crazy adventures today. things that aren't working. All right, that's enough of that. I'm feeling pressured, like you know, other people are often nervous about my paintings. I'm not usually nervous myself. Today, an exception to that rule, I'm feeling nervous right now. This is crazy. Oh, doggone it. It's so wet that even that's crazy. Even my, or maybe it was just that one, even my pencils aren't leaving a mark. I've never drawn in such utter soup. Hang on, that is just not working. Okay. It's a good thing there's nobody watching. Okay, so pencils are out. So I'm going to draw with brushes. Okay, to tell you the truth, I'm not really that nervous about, you know, whether this painting's going to turn out or not. I want to tell you why. What I am nervous about, so to speak, nervous, quote unquote, is that I have just added perhaps a bunch of time to this painting that does not make me real happy. I mean, it's not a disaster, but, you know, I have not got all day, so to speak. I really do want to finish paintings in a fairly timely manner. And with the reason I'm not panicked is because I have an absolutely delightful texture, even though it's not my usual. It is really fascinating texture, and that's always a good thing. Again, probably you've heard me say before, if you're a regular anyway, that one of the main objectives of the underpainting stage phase of the painting is to create adequate chaos. Well, doggone, I've knocked it out of the park today. Okay, so the mess that I have here, by the way, is because the white was taking way too long to dry, and so I rushed it, came back, after an inadequate drying spell, and tried to do color on top of it. So that's the mess. That's the cause of the mess. And it looks, like I said, it's a fascinating texture. So I'm not upset about that, but I am a little bit upset about it, you know, adding an hour and a half or something to the painting process. That doesn't thrill me.
I don't want anybody to do that.
So I'm in virgin territory, so to speak. I've never been exactly down this path before.
No, I get that, because it really is easier to really think. To get patient. Yeah.
I'm making quite a few changes to the drawing. There's so much junk over there across the water. I'll turn the camera around and show it to you again here in a minute. A big part of the editorial decision process today is literally just what to cut out. Like, there's actually a big boat, ship. In actuality, it comes up to about this far that I'm eliminating completely. Okay, I'll turn you around so you can see what I'm talking about. Hang on. And no sooner did we get here today, so I don't know if you can see that big blue thing over toward the left. That's what I'm eliminating. Hello, Karen, we are on. Turns out I should have started another broadcast. I saw some of your comments after I hung up a while ago. Hello, Radina. You're asking a good question. You're in a lot of pain. Oh my goodness. So sorry about that, Radina. Sure, I'll answer that question. What did I do that might add an hour and a half to my painting? It was, I grew impatient waiting for my white my initial white layer to dry, so it was still damp. I thought it might be dry enough that I'd be able to drag a brush with a thin wash it, and I was completely wrong. The white completely exploded, reactivated, if you will, and made a absolutely fascinating texture all over my canvas. So I'm not worried about that. I know I can get a good painting out of this because, again, one of my chief objectives in the underpainting stage is to create enough chaos. Well, as I said a while ago, I've knocked it out of the park in the chaos department, and it's beautiful texture. It's really fascinating. But as I said, I'm afraid I might have added an hour and a half to the painting process, which does not thrill me, because I like to paint with dispatch, so to speak. I might actually, this is unusual, I might actually turn these into evergreen trees over here. There's not a hint of evergreeny trees over there, but there might be now. And I might change my mind about that. Anyway. Rodina, sorry to hear that you're in pain, my dear. There is so much. Every time I look over there, I see another thing that I hadn't noticed before, nearly every time. Good grief. There's a boat right there facing that way. And the drawing, of course, that I'm doing even now will not be my final at all. Once again, 3 cheers for blobbing in paintings. What that means is that I don't have to, all these decisions that I'm making right now are not final, don't have to be final. So I slap down lines pretty quickly without a whole lot of fussing and fuming and worrying and wondering if they're accurate. Just slap something down and come back again later and re-slap it or unslap it, so to speak. I'm using a red paint right now, just as a cheat, sort of, to help me keep track that that's actually that is a red boat, a red hull over there. That'll help me. And likewise, this hull is green. There's so much happening over there, and it's kind of far away, so I really have to stare at it to see what's going on. I don't know if that makes sense or not. Okay, I know what I'm going to do next. I just decided. After this layer of dark details, so to speak. I'll do another layer of white. Maybe pencils first and then white. White and then pencils, or pencils and then white. I don't know. I'll decide in a few minutes. And at that point, my canvas will be so hopelessly soupy with all kinds of wet paint that I will end this broadcast, close it out, and I will either pack up and finish at, indoors later on tonight or tomorrow even. I could come back tomorrow morning or tomorrow evening, couldn't I? Anyway, so I ramble on. Sorry about that. What I'm saying is, okay, I'm going to do another layer of white and then end the broadcast. And I certainly hope I have more medium in my van. Let me see now if these pencils will even will they even make a mark on here? Yeah, maybe. So again, the pencils, for those of you newcomers, it's Jumbo Jet Black by Jerry's Artorama. And they're a wax base. Now that'll confuse some of you. Some of you are thinking candles and so forth. No. Not that kind of wax. Like charcoal sticks, charcoal pencils. Some of them have an oil binder that helps hold the charcoal together, right? Because charcoal is essentially like a powder, right? So they use something to hold it together, and what they hold it together is either an oil or wax-based product. Those are the same thing, oil, wax, or a water-based product. And so these pencils are a wax or oil-based binder. Okay, and one of the things I do like about them is that they interact very well with both water and oil paints. So I'm certainly putting that to the test at the moment with all this soupy drawing in this soupy wet stuff. And there's a big blue building, just looks like a big blue block behind that. What a mess. You want a mess? I'll show you, man. You want chaos? You want chaos on your underpainting? I'll show you chaos. You'll be drowning in chaos. That's about how it feels right now here today. This might end up being the best painting I've ever done. Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
Well,
That's really crazy, isn't it?
that's a word.
You wouldn't believe, looking at this, you wouldn't believe how it's going to turn out, how it's going to end up.
I'd say it's already
Good, thank you.
Is it gonna get better?
Yeah, it is going to get a lot better. Yeah, it's actually going to be fairly realistic, quite a realistic painting when I'm done. But what I try to, I don't always succeed, but what I try to do is retain the energy that you're reacting to here, which I like too.
I think it's already.
Yeah.
It's already really good. It's
Thank you.
there already.
I appreciate that. I really do. And I agree. There are many times when I get at a certain point in my painting, I think, oh, darn, I wish that this was my style. You know, I could, I could save myself many hours of work.
Wow.
Right now I'm painting in acrylics.
It has a lot of reality if you just look to the right.
That's good. Thank you, man. You're a real art lover.
The funny thing is, you're not even looking that way.
No, that's right.
Don't you need to look that direction?
I do. I turn around quite a bit. I'm turning around a lot.
You get a sore neck.
Yeah. Keeps me limber. I set up according to it today. It was partly about which way the ground sloped. Believe it or not, it often usually has to do with which way the sun is shining. And when we got here, the sun was out. Believe it or not. But
So how long ago did you start that?
oh, what? An hour ago?
So you've done all
An hour? Yeah, an hour and a quarter. No, that's not right. An hour and a half. Yeah, 5 o'clock. Yeah. But I have many hours to go. Okay, for instance, okay, it does look okay now, I think, I hope.
It does. It looks fabulous.
But it should look, whoops, it should look better in just a minute. Oh, there's no batteries on there. That would make a difference. I'll go get those in a minute. Okay, but it should get better here. Just,
It's really coming. I can see a lot of the roof lines.
yeah.
I mean, that's neat. I don't know how you decide what to do next.
That's right. That's a good observation. Of course, as you know, the answer is because I've done this before.
Right.
Where are you guys from? Here?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you're vacationing. Well,
No.
I'm not
we're
vacationing, I'm
actually
working.
Pilots, and we just
Oh, you
flew some
really?
folks
Ah.
into here, and
Oh, yeah, look at this.
yeah, we're private.
No kidding. Did I
Jet
hear you go over?
pilots.
Oh,
Yeah.
jet. No, because I saw a prop plane go over a while ago.
No,
wasn't
we're
you.
not in a-
Yeah.
And we brought some passengers here, and
From where?
we
Are
take
you
them
allowed
out
to
of
tell us
here,
that?
tomorrow. Yeah, they're actually just from Maryland. We brought them
Okay.
from Maryland.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania.
Okay. Yeah.
Pennsylvania and Maryland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Have you been here before?
Yeah.
No.
we've
Where's
had
the airport?
trips.
I didn't know there was an airport that could do
we
jets.
Landed at a
Little private jet, I'm assuming. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
And is it yours, or do you work for somebody
no,
else?
No. I can't.
You're
I
the
wish.
pilot.
Yeah. She and I are the crew. Yeah. She's
Cool.
the co-pilot. And,
Yeah.
yeah. I fly with her quite a bit.
I don't think I've ever met a pilot, like a private pilot
We
before.
look after,
That's kind of cool.
We fly 7 different airplanes.
Yeah?
The group of us that we work for.
Wow. Very
Yeah.
cool. Okay, and you've been here before though, to Beaufort.
Yeah. I've been here before with other people that we've
Yeah.
brought here in the private planes fishing,
Yeah.
charter fishing.
Yeah.
So we just got here. I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 o'clock. and
Gotcha.
We leave. And,
Yeah.
we leave tomorrow. Actually,
Yeah. With the same people?
with the same people.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. I think they're looking at property. Or
Yeah.
something. Honestly, I don't know. We don't.
It's not your job
Yeah, we
to
don't.
pry too much.
We don't ask questions. Honestly, we don't ask questions.
That's funny. Well, there's 5 of us here this week, 5 guys painting, and we're all from the Raleigh area. So that's about almost a 3-hour drive
Yeah,
from here.
yeah. We commonly go to Raleigh.
Do you really?
We're in Raleigh picking up people on Tuesday, Raleigh, Durham.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, you have it figured out. Wow.
Thank you.
I was wondering why you were attacking that with white.
it's completely changing the personality of
It's
that
starting to come out.
Isn't that something?
Yeah. It's a good thing we're all good at something else, huh?
Yeah, I see what you're doing now, and you're pulling
The light.
reality right out of that place.
Yeah.
Now I didn't even recognize that you had tan in that roof until you got that white on there.
Yeah,
Now
that's right.
suddenly I see the tan.
That's right. That is a tan roof. I hardly have to do anything to that.
No, see that? It's amazing.
Thanks. That's fun.
Yeah, we just decided to walk down here and
Yeah.
take a look at restaurants. We came to the end of the road.
Yeah,
Found
you did.
So that's great, really. Honest to God. Easy.
That's fun. Good. Glad to be of service. We normally go to Ocracoke. Have you heard of Ocracoke? It's a little island, postage stamp size island, about, I don't know, 100 miles up the coast, 50, 40 miles? No. From here, it's probably a 40-mile ferry ride.
I think I have heard
And it's a real, a little bit more, kind of like this, but a little more rustic.
Little island.
Yeah, little island.
Does it have an airport?
No,
No
no,
airport.
so you don't fly into that.
Have you ever been
And-
to Tangier Island?
I've heard of it. Is that?
It's in Virginia, Tangier.
Yeah.
You
No, I've
should
never
go
been
there.
there.
Honest to God, you
Is it
really
good?
should go there.
Really? Is
It's,
it picturesque? Is good painting stuff?
Oh God, yeah. It's
Really?
Be great. Tangier Island.
Yeah.
You should look it up.
Yeah,
It has
I've
an
heard of it.
airport, and it's a dying island because it really was. It depended upon. Has a lot of crabbers there, like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
marlin type crab,
Yeah.
the blue crab,
Right.
and I really like to support it best I
Yeah.
can. Really, it's a great little island. Folks there have a unique accent that's
Yeah.
kind of native to that spot and nowhere else. And just look it up online.
Yeah,
and I think
I've heard
you'd
of it.
be,
Should go there and paint, huh?
I think you would.
Rustic, right?
I think you would. I think you could bring some life to this place.
Yeah.
You know, you undoubtedly have a great following, so
Yeah.
you could put the place on the map.
That's a great idea.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have a heart for the place.
Yeah,
Because
I know what you
years
mean.
and years ago, back in the mid '90s, when I started flying airplanes, I would go there just for something unique,
Uh-huh.
and it's kind of dying out
Oh.
because of the crab.
Yeah.
They have
Crab
a lot of
industry is going down.
commercialization that's
Yeah.
taken over, and the little mom and pop places are falling away.
Yeah.
But you could.
That's a
you
great
could
idea.
Bring new life to that place.
We'll keep, that's a great idea. So we normally go to Ocracoke, us painters,
Yeah.
but it got whacked by a hurricane this year. So,
Really?
So they're rebuilding. Unfortunately, boy, it really
So you found it right here, eh?
It really hurts the economy,
Boy, it's terrible.
one of those hurricanes.
We have a lot of places with the islands down in the Bahamas.
Yeah,
It's heartbreaking. What's
yeah, it
happening
is.
there.
It sure is.
Well, this is really an interesting
Good.
presentation you have going on here. I tell you, I never knew anything about this.
Are you from Canada originally?
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah.
Me too. I was born in Canada. I'm Dan. What's your name?
Mike
I'm-
Bachard.
I was born in Hamilton. My dad's from Toronto.
Wow.
And
so
but
I'm from a little west of Stratford.
are you really?
Yeah.
My parents met in London. Back right after
Yeah.
the war.
Well,
But and
my
and
family is from north of London, a little town
Yeah.
called Seaforth.
yeah,
Goderich,
yeah.
one of those areas.
I've driven past it. I'm sure.
Yep.
Anyway,
Country.
and I left when I was a baby, but every once in a while I'm talking, and all of a sudden I'll either say out, about, or house. It'll fly out of my mouth.
Funny.
And then I laugh at myself, say,
Yeah.
little Canadian.
You really picked that up.
little Canadian, yeah.
I moved to Maryland in 1990,
Yeah.
but still, it's in there.
That's
I don't
right.
really know how, but it is.
Yeah, I heard it come out of you just like I hear it come out of me.
That's funny. Well, that's a talent you have there. Really.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Let me hear. Let me.
Well, I might be interrupting the program, but
Yeah, that's quite
take a
right.
moment to
These
talk to
these people, no, the people come. They actually like it when people come talk to me.
Oh, you mean they're
Hey, I'm
people
broadcasting.
listening?
Yeah. There's
Oh,
it. Look
well,
me
I'm
up when you
sorry
get
to
home.
interrupt you.
No, they like it. I'm serious.
I am very sorry.
No.
I thought you were making
No, they're saying they'll be saying we like that Canadian guy, eh? Good to meet you, Mike. Uh-oh, was it Mike? Oh. See, you guys do like it, don't you? I'm not lying, am I? People always do that when I feel bad. I didn't mean to. I never mean to trick anybody.
Maybe you can paint him with two hands before, buddy.
All right. See, it is starting to turn into a painting, into a scene, into a picture. Which you got to get the picture. Like I hope you understand that. The drawing, it has to be a drawing. And then you go beyond the drawing by adding all the good stuff. Line, shape, color, design, value, texture. And of all those, play of light or value is the most important. But I'm not even worried about that much right now. I do know that this area right here is going to be the wowie zowie play of light thing. So that, and it'll be a warm light. It'll be a warm, fairly late afternoon. It's no surprise, you regulars, you say. I am a little worried that my paintings are so typically late evening. That's one of the reasons I enjoyed my yesterday's painting downtown, because it was not late evening, so it wasn't all orangey, I do really worry sometimes, like all my paintings have orange sunlight in them. That could get a little old. Oh, it's hard to clean acrylics out of brushes. All right, gang, you know what I think I'm gonna do? I could stay out here like a crazy man. I have a light over me, and I could just gut it out. But I worked really hard yesterday, and I don't feel like killing myself tonight. So I'm going to end this broadcast, and if I start painting at home later, then I will certainly bring you guys in. Before I go, though, let me see all your wonderful chats. I won't read them all. If you ask me a specific question, I will try to answer it. Redina, you're painting your boots? You're painting in your boots, or you're painting your boots? You said you're painting your boots. It's okay to paint in your boots too. I'm painting in my shoes. Anyway, good to hear from you, Redina. It's been a while, actually. That's right, maybe a learning experience. It will be okay. I'm sorry, I wish I could turn on a light there for you, but who am I talking to? Art demons in his head. Karen, she says we are quiet when Dan is talking to someone else. A fellow Canuck. That's right, Redina. Did you catch that? He said one word. He said out or about her house. He said, "Are you Canadian?" That was pretty funny. Radina asks a question. A lot of artists say you only use white at the very end. That is correct. In a traditional oil painting, you only use white at the end. But this is not. This is acrylics, and I'm going to do colored glazes on top of this, so it's not going to stay white. So that is a very Hello, Jake. Thank you, man. It is a very idiosyncratic way to paint. It's very unconventional. That's right. So I'll do it. You know what? Hang on just a second. I am going to get my batteries. And before I go, I'm going to turn the light on. It'll take me just a moment here. I have this wonderful light. I haven't talked about it for a while. It's an LED. I think it's a 200 array. That is 200 LED bulbs. Half of them are warm and half of them are cool. So I can change it to real bright, like that, and from real cool to real warm. She said that's all the way warm, that's all the way cool. And so it's a really great light for painting. Anyway, that looks a little bright. Workaholic. No, I'm not. I'm a hard worker, not a workaholic. But that's all right. You can call me that. I take it as a bit of a compliment. So time will tell whether I'm going to work on this tonight. I took a whole bunch of really good photographs today of the Beaufort area. We'll take more the rest of the week, of course, but I have a whole bunch of great pictures, and I can do some watercolor sketches from those. You know, that's the kind of thing you can kind of sit around the kitchen table at the house with Mike and the other guys. So I'll either do that or I'll work on this one. I don't know which, but thank you again. And thank you. Too hot of a light. Whoa. Thanks, Uncle 60. There, that better? All right. Thank you, guys. I enjoy your company, as you know, all the time. And I hope to do a lot of broadcasting, because I hope to do it. The one great thing about this trip, this annual trip safari, painting safari, is that kind of cut all the other clutter out of my life and just paint. So great fun. All right, bye. Oh, I bought the light at New York City. The biggest photography. It's a studio light. The biggest camera sellers in the country out of New York City. What's it called? It's like 2 letters. That's crazy. Just went out of my mind, out of my head. I'll think of it. BG camera, GB camera, HD camera. Just none of those. All right. Bye, y'all. Talk to you soon. Bye.